Hello everybody, what is up? It's me, lukemick here, and this is my review for X-Men Days of Future Past. So you guys, if I seem a little out of it during this review, please don't mind that. I've had a very long weekend. I went to Soundset, which is a big hip-hop concert in Minnesota with a bunch of people there, and I worked on Saturday. And it's just been a really long weekend, so if I seem tired, if I'm going a little slow, if I'm lethargic, don't mind it. It's just that I'm very tired out. So, X-Men Days of Future Past is the sequel to a lot of things, it seems. X-Men First Class, X3 The Last Stand, and even the Wolverine, the Hugh Jackman movie that came out last year. X-Men Days of Future Past really does a good job of tying all these movies together. Now, what it basically is the mutants are being completely diminished. It's in the future a little bit, and there are these sentinels, these giant robots that go around, and their main goal is to eliminate all mutants off the face of the earth. And there isn't a lot of time. Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen and all the other mutants have united, and they have to work together to send Wolverine back in time to the 1970s to fix the Sentinels, to make it so they aren't there destroying their lives in the future. Basically, they send Wolverine to the past to fix the future from the very deadly and abused colony. That was one of the stupidest things I think I've ever said. But anyways, that's what this movie's about. Now, I thought this movie did an incredible job mixing old and new. It took all the characters from First Class and it kind of threw them in with the characters from all the other X-Men movies, like X2 and all that good stuff. And I feel like this movie did a really good job with the time travel element. Time travel is something that can get really complicated, and some movies do a really bad job sort of showing it and expressing it, but X-Men Days of Future Past, I think, did a really good job connecting two and two. Now, the acting in this movie and the performances was just on par with all the other X-Men movies. It's always very good. All the characters are back, and I love all of them. You know, the X-Men movies have a lot of characters in them, and I usually like all of them quite a bit. Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, is just obviously fantastic as this character, as he always is. James McAvoy as the younger Charles Xavier was incredible, just like in First Class, along with Michael Fassbender, who always takes my breath away. Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique was great as well. You know, this movie just has a really huge cast, especially when it spans over 2 different time frames. And I thought that everybody in this movie really played their part. And somebody I actually really like, who is new to the X-Men universe, is Peter Dinklage, the short guy. He played he was the guy who was making these Sentinels and who kind of had prejudice against the mutants. I thought he did a really good job in this movie as well. Now, X-Men Days of Future Past has a lot of really great action scenes as well. A lot of them are done incredibly, and there's the way that Bryan filmed some of these scenes, especially in the future, was very, very good. There was this woman who could use, it was kind of like the game Portal. She would open up a portal here and there, and the way they utilized the camera in those scenes I thought was really, really cool. Now, the reason I like the X-Men movies so much is because they seem smarter. I kind of like the political undertones that the X-Men movies carry throughout. It's a lot of prejudice and a lot of I can't find the right word. It's just a hatred for the mutants. You know, people are afraid of them. They don't really want them in their community, but most of the mutants are harmless. But then you have mutants like Michael Fassbender or, Magneto, who really makes a point and he really scares people. I just like the story and the political issues that are brought up in the X-Men movies. They feel a lot smarter and more intelligent than the Avengers and stuff, when those are just kind of like a popcorn fun time. X-Men brings up some real issues, and I really appreciate that in those movies. So, X-Men Days of Future Past I thought was incredible. It's one of the best movies I have seen all year, one of the greatest superhero movies in recent years for sure. I really, really love this movie. It did a great job combining the new characters with the old characters. The performances were great, and Bryan Singer did an incredible job directing this movie, and I really hope that he gets the chance to direct X-Men Apocalypse in 2016, because I am so excited for that movie. So, X-Men Days of Future Past gets a 4.5 out of 5 stars from me, lukemick. So, I'm signing off, you guys. Please subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.